So, Lucy, question number one. What's one piece of advice you wish every aspiring author would take seriously?
I feel like this is such an annoying answer, and I never listen to it myself, but I love to tell people that you can't be a perfectionist when you're getting that first draft down. And that mentality of this has to be the perfect book the minute that I write it is the biggest hindrance for getting any writing done ever. And the ultimate line that I try to remember all the time is that you can't edit a blank page. You can't turn a blank page into a good book, but you can turn a terrible, rough first draft into a good book. So I think the key piece of advice is get your ugly, messy, awful first draft done, and then you can turn that into something good.
Question number two, Lucy. What's a scene or an idea you've never shared publicly but always wanted to?
I have quite a lot of these because when I was writing my debut novel, Rewitched, I did so much thinking about the bigger picture and the backstory for lots of the characters. There's a whole kind of coven set up across all of my standalone books. That's kind of how they're all linked together. And I've done a lot of thinking about the characters who've come into that and why they're the way they are and the backstories that don't get written about in the main books. Particularly a couple of characters in Rewitched, the Gowden sisters, who are the sage witches in charge of the coven at that time. And I have quite a lot of backstory for them, one of them in particular, Bronwyn. And I would love I would love to write that. They're kind of like horrible characters are my favorite ones to write. And I think exploring fully, really fully, like why they're the way they are would be a really fun time.
Okay, question number three. What's the weirdest or most unexpected thing that you've ever Googled for a story?
I mean, everything I Google for these stories is weird and unexpected. When you're entering into a witchy world, you really find yourself Googling some very strange things. Just like any kind of like ingredient for a potion. That's always a bit of a weird one because you have to try and find, things that feel kind of legitimate and like they would contribute those qualities in a magical way that you're looking for. And I think the other thing which I never really realized that I would be doing all the time is Googling baby names because it really helps with naming characters. I'm constantly on like baby name websites to find the perfect character name, and they are such a treasure trove of like strange, unusual, slightly magical names you can search by definition and stuff so that you can find a name that really kind of fits and suits the character that you've got in mind. So yeah, something unexpected about being an author is that I spend a lot of time on baby name websites.
Question number four, Lucy. What's a moment in your career when advice from another author changed your path?
I've been having a little think about this one because I really wanted to think of one definitive piece of advice that I've been given. But I think actually what I have found super helpful and that's made me feel so much better about my own chaotic style. The really helpful thing that I have found is that every single author approaches it differently. Like there is no right way to create a book. Everyone has their own methods, everyone has their own way of finding a starting point. Everyone has their own way of crafting a full story. Like there is really no step by step way to do it. But I think every single author I've ever met just seems to be completely winging it in a wonderful way. And that makes me feel a lot better.
Fifth and final question. What's the moment you realized your writing had connected with someone in a way you didn't expect?
There's been cakes made of my books, which makes me really happy. There's been a Rewitched tattoo, which I still can't quite get my head around. It doesn't even have to be like a grand gesture like that. It's any time that someone tells me that they've connected in some way, particularly to the main characters because I cherish them so much and they really, really mean a lot to me. Or seeing it included in like a favorite reads roundup, or if someone makes like an aesthetic collage of my books on Instagram, or any of those things where someone's put time and thought into expressing that these books mean something to them. Like, let me show you this. This is my little witch's hat full of Rewitched and Uncharmed friendship bracelets that people have made and brought along to book events and book tours and stuff. And it's anything like that has had like thought and care and real kind of heart put into it.
Thank you so much for tuning in to 5 Authors, 5 Questions. I really hope you liked hearing Lucy's answers. I know I did. Some of them were extremely funny and some of them really resonated with me. So go and give Lucy a follow if you aren't already, and make sure that you tune in to the next episode of 5 Authors, 5 Questions. And don't forget to share your comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this segment. And make sure to share the podcast with all your friends, families, and colleagues.